Fuck yeah. And we're back with Tyler Stanaway for, what are we going to call this one? Ayahuasca part 2?
Sure. Yeah. Ceremony part 2. More insight.
And I'm excited for this because, like, obviously the first episode was fun, right?
Yeah.
I learned a lot and it was just cool hearing your experience, but it got a ton of fucking positive feedback too.
Oh yeah.
I've been getting, a lot of messages about that episode, which was probably 4 episodes ago or something. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, it was like about a month ago.
And because of kind of the demographic of this show being a lot of just people that have lived hard. You don't have to be in the military or the professional law enforcement. Just people that have went through some shit that need help.
Yeah.
Figuring out ways to unpack it. And bro, I think like the American way for a long time was just toughness is just bottling it up and putting that exterior shell out there and saying, I'm fucking good.
Yeah.
You know? And, we've talked about it a lot. The actual vulnerability, that's a true sign of toughness.
Absolutely.
And so, you came on and you talked about a lot of those things. If you guys haven't listened to that episode, probably go check it out before you listen to this one.
Yep.
And, because that was about his initial ceremony. And then you went and did a follow-up one, which is going to be what this episode's about.
Yep.
And it's interesting because I just got connected to another guy that was a fighter pilot and 15-year police officer, and he was just retired, and he wants to come on the show because he's starting an ayahuasca retreat in Costa Rica.
Fuck yeah.
And he's like, man, I listened to the episode with Tyler and it was like powerful stuff. And I would love if we could discuss this further and talk about like what my intentions are, my plans, and the program that he's going to run. So
it's maybe fucking rad.
This is going to become part of the endless endeavor.
Yeah. I mean, still so far, I haven't found anything that's healed me that deeply, that fast, with that amount of effect.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fuck, man, I say we do it exactly like we did the last time, because I thought you did a very good job of just how you basically went in like chronological order, like it was a timeline from fucking getting in your car and driving there until it was done. Yep. So fuck, dude, just take it away, man.
Okay, so after the first time, obviously we did our podcast, and then I went back home, talked to Vanessa, who's my wife. She noticed a change. And like I said last time, where she was a little skeptical of me going because she didn't want me to, what if I change? And like I said, well, isn't that the fucking point? It was for the better. And she's noticed.
Yeah.
So
obviously she was worried about some kind of negative change.
Yeah. I mean, I'm her husband, and
you come back all fucking depressed or pissed off.
Yeah. And that's a big problem. And that wasn't the case. So when I told her that I was going to go again, initially I thought she might think like, what the fuck, you just did that. But it was okay. When, what, is it the same place, same time, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember if in our last episode I had mentioned me doing it again right away.
I think you said that like you had the intentions of doing it, but I didn't know if it was like planned and set in stone or anything. Yeah.
So the fucking universe is so crazy because the shaman said, hey, we're doing it from now on, the last weekend of the month up here in Washington, but it will be moved to Stanwood, Washington from now on. Well, that's where I live. And I go, what the fuck? So
the universe.
I mean, for however long you had to go to Peru or Brazil or Costa Rica, whatever, down to the Amazon pretty much to go to the Shipibo tribes or whatnot. And now all of a sudden it's 9 minutes from my house.
In what city were you in last time? Out in like Monroe or something?
Auburn. Yep.
Okay.
I was in Auburn. And
which is a, an hour and a half, 2-hour trek or something.
Yeah. And it's not far or anything, but when he's like, oh, it's in Stanwood, and I'm like, dude, I live in Stanwood.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm supposed to go back. So I set that up, and then I have an aunt who she's my only aunt, but she helped like raise me pretty much. She's my mom's sister, and she watched me be born. She took care of me, wiped my ass when I was little. And so we've always had a really close bond. But she's the most like me in my family. I'm the black sheep, if anyone wants to know. I'm different than everyone else in my family. Not that it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just, it is what it is. And so I got a hold of my aunt, and I told her all about it. And I didn't want to like pressure her or anything. I don't think it's something that I should say you should go do this. Like I said before, it's on you.
Give someone the information and let them figure it out.
Absolutely. And she's like, I really want to do this with you. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Because she's had a lot of trauma in her life as well. Mm-hmm. And she's, I want to say like 55.
Okay.
And so anyways, we talk and we're going to go and we get all set up. And I'm actually going to pay for her to go. Because the first time my buddy paid for me to go. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be the thing. If someone really wants to go and either can't afford it or doesn't have the funds right away, pay it forward.
Yeah.
So I did. And for the week leading up to it, you're supposed to do what's called dieta, which is the diet. Mm-hmm. And we talked about that, wanting to be dry and
sober, no marijuana, no alcohol.
All that shit. Even like caffeine, teas, any type. We want you to be as clean as possible. Well, she's fucking smoked weed since 1970. And she was having a rough time. She had called me. So it's a Friday, a Saturday, and then you'll leave Sunday late afternoon.
Okay.
So she's calling me probably the Wednesday before, and she's almost in tears.
Because she can't have weed.
Yeah, and it's not just that. I mean, she has like fibromyalgia, and she's just having a hard time really detoxing is what it is.
Yeah.
You're detoxing by yourself. And just like anything, you don't realize how much of a problem you actually have with something. Or maybe problem isn't the right word. How much you rely or use.
How dependent you are on it.
Correct.
For sure. How many days are you supposed to not use marijuana?
They say like 5 to 7.
Okay.
I think the longer the better. I mean, if you could straight up get all THC out of your system, I really truly believe that would be the best. Mm-hmm. That ain't gonna work for us. So we fucking do the best we can do.
Yeah.
So
well, before you go into that, like I've just noticed with marijuana, like I feel like I'm using it too often because it makes me feel so good after a hard night of training, after beating your fucking body all day. And then also like I get better sleep.
Yes.
And like my routine is to be like to hit half a joint at bedtime.
Yep.
But now I'm starting to wonder, like, I always want to check myself. I want to stay grounded in what's reasonable. And it's like, do you need marijuana to feel good? Do you need marijuana to sleep? And I'm kind of coming to the conclusion, like, yeah, I kind of fucking do.
Yeah.
But is that bad? Like, I don't fucking know, but they're just being dependent on something just feels kind of off, you know?
Yeah, I go back and forth with it all the fucking time, and I don't have the answer still.
But I mean, we're also dependent on water, and we're dependent on food, and it's like there's things on planet Earth that we have symbiotic relationships with, and that's just part of fucking sharing the planet with other plants and animals. So,
and I also think it depends on what type of person you are. Like for me, I'm very energetic. Mm-hmm. I'm high strung. I'm aggressive as fuck. I can get angry really goddamn easy. I have a temper. And so...
Bro, you need to read the Emotional Intelligence book.
I'm going to.
I'm done with it. I finished it today.
Okay.
But yeah.
So for me, it really helps me. Just grounds me a little bit. Calms me down, and I'm not as aggressive. I'm not as high strung. I can just mellow out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I still work. I mean, dude, I fucking work. I get up at 3:30.
Harder than any fucking dude I know.
7 days a week.
Yep.
And whether it's at the farm, at the house, or teaching kids jujitsu after I've already worked fucking overtime, 10-hour days, it's just my life. So for me, it's not inhibiting my ability to stay motivated and ambitious and driven.
Get shit done.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there's other people.
Yeah, because that's always been, ever since we were little kids, like marijuana will make you lazy. It'll make you unmotivated. Or a lot of people will be like, well, it makes you fat because you get the munchies. And it's like, okay, so you're saying all this negative side effects I can show you don't apply to me, so I'm good to go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's it. This is for me.
Yeah.
And I have a buddy who's the opposite. I don't think he should smoke weed because he's already kind of mellow and grounded and like on his own fucking time.
Yeah.
And then he smokes weed and it's like, dude.
Yeah, you're not even getting him off the couch.
No, he doesn't even, I haven't hung out with him in a while, but I remember he'd be like, hey, Tyler, call me. Hey, Tyler, come over and fucking smoke some weed and let's do something. And then we go over there and we'd fucking load a bowl and smoke. And then he don't want to fucking talk or anything.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I could have just fucking stayed at my house if I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
So to each their own.
Or like Daniel, our savage black belt.
Yeah.
Who 99% of people in the gym, if you ask who the toughest guy in the gym is, you're going to hear Daniel.
Fucking Daniel.
That motherfucker was smoking weed so often that he would have to eat 600 milligrams of edibles to get high.
Which is ridiculous.
That's 6 bags of chocolates.
Yeah.
Right? And each bag contains 10. Most human, like Jenny, will take half of one. And she's fucking gone to the moon on 5 milligrams.
Yeah.
I will take like 30.
Yep.
And I'll go to the moon.
Yep.
He would eat 600. And that's why he's like, bro, I've fucking like, marijuana has been too much a part of my life to where I'm high all the time. And I need to get away from this. And went cold turkey two or 3 years ago, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, like, we're not saying this is the right thing for everybody.
Not at all.
But I do think it is the right thing for some people.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think about often is this season of my life. Right now, I'm in my 40s. I'm training hard as fuck. My body feels pretty good, but the older you get, the more it aches. And I feel like this is a good addition to my routine in this season of my life.
And what's the alternative? Vicodin?
Yeah, exactly.
Morphine?
You know?
Tylenol?
But when I'm 65 and I'm sailing the world on my fucking yacht and I'm not fighting other men 5 days a week, maybe it won't be part of my life. It's a different season, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So anyways, so I'm calling my aunt every day leading up, talking to her, telling her, look, we can fucking do anything for 72 hours. Next day, 48 hours. I mean, we can do it. We're not going to die. We got a roof over our head. Like, it's all good and it will be worth it. In anything in life that I have learned so far, anything great comes with some type of sacrifice or struggle or challenge or adversity.
Period.
That's
a fucking fact.
That is. And so if you don't want to sit here and talk to some schmuck at the fucking shrink for the next 30 years of your life and you want to try this plant medicine, you got to do it. If I can do it, you can fucking do it.
Well, if she is hoping to get out of it, or if she wants to get out of it, what she's hoping to get out of it, here's the fucking process.
That's part of it. And the ceremony, now that I've done it 3 times, I realized that it's not just drinking the tea that's the healing. It's the whole fucking bang and caboodle. From the time that you sign up to the time that you leave, and then the integration period after you have left.
Okay.
Like I said last time, just the coffee with my fucking headache. That's
Yeah.
a learning thing of where I realize, man, I really do have a problem with caffeine. I can't go 24 hours without drinking coffee or I get a fucking headache so bad that I want to go to bed.
Yeah, and your homie said, like, that's Mother Aya showing you.
Exactly.
Like, when you weren't even there, you were at his house still, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're driving on the fucking way there.
Freeway. No, it's funny you say that because that's exactly what I was thinking in my head. Is like, oh, some of the lessons are already coming to light for her days in advance.
Yeah, she hasn't. I mean, she lives over in Wenatchee, so she hasn't even got to the west side of the mountains yet, and she's already learning things about herself.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we do that. We get it all ready. We make it happen. Then it's gonna be Friday. She comes over and we stop at the little farmer's market in Stanwood, pick up some fruits and vegetables or fruits and nuts or something, and head on out. And we get there, and this is a new place. This isn't the place that we went last time. And I get there, and once again, this place is fucking beautiful. It's up on the bluff, looking out from Stanwood all the way to the Puget Sound. And it's just, I can see the fucking the Olympic Mountains
over Puget
Sound from this house that I'm at. So that's really cool because I think your setting, your geographical location is a big thing. I mean, I've done a lot of psychedelics in my life. I've eaten mushrooms a ton of fucking times, and you can have a bad trip, or maybe trip isn't a bad trip strictly due to where you're at, your setting.
Yeah.
You know, the vibe, whatever. So it felt very comfortable, which made my aunt also feel very comfortable. She's nervous as fuck. She's like, what did my nephew?
Yeah. What am I getting myself?
What am I getting?
And remember, you said you were feeling that.
I was feeling that again the second time.
Okay.
Even more nervous, I think, because now I know.
You're going into battle.
That's it. I know what I'm going up for. So, yeah, so it's the same process. We show up, we get our white clothes on. It was hot. So
what was the actual structure like? Because it was like a big, beautiful log cabin last time.
Yeah. So this time it was more, so there was a big house, and it's like a farmhouse. So you have, and it was red. It was like a what you would think of when you think of like a traditional barn.
Okay.
But it has been revamped into like a ceremonial setting.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah. And they had like a fucking kitchen and a bar and like bongo drums and tapestries. It was very nice.
So is this place, do you think this place is set up specifically for this?
Yep.
Or do they like get it all done up for the weekend because you guys are coming in?
No.
This is what this place is.
This was built for this.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So this time we're not in a yurt. This time we're in like the barn, but it's same thing. Circle. You got the altar in the middle. All of our mats wrapped up, a circle all the way around. I find my spot. I get it set up. I put my sheets down, my pillows down. I put some shorts on, a white t-shirt. And this time I brought some.
I was going to ask, did you bring something for the altar?
I did. So last time, right when I got home, the raven, I had to buy a raven, not a real one. I got a little like wooden one that I can put on the altar. And then Vanessa has like 3 crystals that she had bought for me. And they're like totem. They're just like prisms, I guess.
Like those ones right there?
Yep. Just like that.
So I'll tell you, like, I used to think crystals are crazy because Jenny's always been into the energy of crystals.
Okay.
And I used to just think that's my wife's fucking whack job brain.
Woo-woo shit.
Thinking rocks are healing her.
Yeah.
But the older I get, the more I don't rule anything out. And why is it out of the realm of possibility for different physical items to hold different levels of energy?
Well, the thing is,
they do, right?
They do. Go bring an EMF thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can. Some of it is actually detectable.
Yep.
And so, like, Jenny has water bottles that she'll like that have crystals inside of them that the water sits in, and then you can see like I got a couple crystal bracelets right there because when I was starting to have really bad knee pain, Western medicine, I told you, like, they just wanted to replace my knee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm 38. I don't feel comfortable having my knee replaced. Since then, I've had other orthopedic surgeons be like, thank God you didn't do that, because like Sean Baker at the gym, he's like, they were out of their fucking minds telling you. But because I felt like I didn't have another option, that's when I started, okay, what can cannabis do?
Yep.
What can these crystals do? I tried like Eastern style approaches.
Yeah.
And bro, my knee feels fucking fine now.
There. So is it a placebo?
Maybe.
Who fucking cares?
Exactly.
It works.
Yep.
So yeah. So anyway, so this time I grabbed my 3 crystals. And also, if anyone's listening and wants to know about crystals, a lot of times people will go purchase crystals from someone and then they don't ever fucking notice it. Well, that's because it's been grabbing energy from everything around. You need to, I'm drawing a blank, but you need to charge it. So you take your crystals and you go put it out in the sun and let the sun soak up the energy. It'll be clear. Grab it, put your intention into it, and then only you touch your crystal. this is how it's supposed to be.
I got it. I have something I need to do with my crystals then.
Yeah. Or the moon. The moon is another thing. Like on a full moon, go put it outside, leave them for the night, bring them back in. You grab them, put it up to your heart, set your intention.
That Tyler Stanaway guy, he's a whack job.
Maybe. So are you.
That's my voice when we're fucking portraying a pussy, talking shit about us.
Yeah. Come fight me with my crystals. So, and then I have, because my heritage is Norwegian, I have a little Norwegian mountain troll, and it's kind of like this guy, but it's about this big. Mm-hmm. And it was my grandma's that she got from Norway. And then,
it's a fucking family heirloom then.
It is. And it was always, whenever I spent the night at my grandma's house, it was always up on this bookshelf. And in the spare bedroom that I would sleep in, if I was spending the night at her house, she had like the window with the drapes on it. And then above the window was like the half moon window. You know, it's like a half a circle.
Okay.
There's no drapes or nothing. And I remember the moon would shine through that fucking window and it would blast off the troll's glass eyeballs and he'd stare at me all night.
Did you like it or did it freak you the fuck out?
I never knew. Still to this day, I never knew. I'd watch it and I could never, like, sometimes it would scare the shit out of me, but then on the other hand, it would be like, he's watching me type.
Kind of like this thing.
Yeah. So he's mine. I have him now. And he's up on my windowsill. So I grabbed all those. I set the troll up, it's facing right at me. I put the raven right in front of him. And then I took the 3 crystals and I wrapped it kind of around the back of him. And I was like, all right, this is going to be fucking cool this time. So I do that. And then the smudging. We had to go get smudged again.
And that's the blowing of smoke on you, right?
Yes. They use sage.
Okay.
So that's just getting rid of negative energy. I mean, people sage their house to cleanse, cleanse spirit, negative energy. We don't want no energy, bad energy going into this shit. So I really like the fact that they want to do that. They ask me and I'm like, yep. So I go out there, I get smudged, I come back in and I go to grab one of those cards.
Not the one off the top.
Not the one off the top. Nope, this time I know. So I grab the card and it's corn. But depending on how you pull the card, if it's right side up or upside down, you can look in the little, there's like the little book that you read about it. And so I pulled the corn and it was upside down. And so I'm reading it and I'm sitting there reading it and it's about planting a seed of anything. I mean, not just like a corn seed, but in life, planting a seed. And then needing to be able to have the patience to understand that seed will grow at its own rate on its own time. To trust the process is essentially what it is. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. I mean, there's not much to it, but it was like, all right, cool. So I put the card next to me and then, the same type of thing as last time. We sit down, we introduce ourselves, we say how many times we've done this, where we're from. Then we go back around another time, we set our intentions. And it was kind of interesting because there wasn't nearly as many people as there was the first time. There was only maybe 8 of us.
Okay. How close was your aunt to you?
She was almost directly across from me.
Okay. Do they separate people on purpose if they come together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They typically don't want you to be with each other.
Yeah.
Because if all of a sudden, we'll just say you and Jenny are there and you're supposed to be doing your own journey and you can hear Jenny crying, bawling, purging. There's nothing like, as her husband and their protector, there's something that happens inside you where you want to help her.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether that's rubbing her, talking to her. Whereas if they're on the other side of the circle, that's probably not going to work out very well.
To tell you the truth, like, because obviously from talking to you about it, this is something that I want to experience at some point. But I think I want to go and do it with nobody that I know.
Yeah.
There's something appealing about that.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know how I'm going to behave.
Yeah.
But just also like what you said, I don't want to be concerned about other people during that. You know?
worrying about what they're thinking of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
all
something
that shit.
too.
That's
right?
real. Yeah.
Fucking A.
That's why I don't like dancing.
No. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'll dance by myself. So everyone goes around, starts saying their intention. And this time I'm staying there for Friday and Saturday. Whereas the first time I just stayed for Friday night.
Okay. So when you say you did it 3 times, that means twice in the second weekend together?
I count that.
Okay.
If you smoked weed today and you smoke weed tomorrow, is that only one time of smoking weed?
Yeah, no, I was just trying to understand if you'd already went back a 3rd time.
No.
Okay.
No. So I count Friday and Saturday as they were 2 different ceremonies.
Got it. Yeah.
And they were vastly different.
Okay.
So my first intention for the first night, because I was trying to weigh it out, like what do I want my intention tonight to be compared to tomorrow? And I was like, I really want to know my mission and purpose in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a welder, I'm a fabricator, I blacksmith, I go to jujitsu. Is that my mission and purpose, or is that just what I picked because I had an interest in it or a passion at some time? Like
what's your fucking destiny?
What is my destiny? Why was my soul put here at this particular time in the world? What the fuck am I supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to say, what is my mission and purpose? Mother Aya, please show me my mission and purpose. And so that was mine. And a lot of people's is like, their heart's been shut off. They want to learn to love more, limited beliefs. All fuck, it could be anything, man. Whatever questions you personally have, say it. See if you can get a fucking answer. So mine was that. And then we go around. He lights the candles just like last time. North, south, east, west. Gets rid of the negative entities. Summons in the spirit animals. Summons in the like the archangels or your spirit guides. And then we're going to drink the fucking tea.
And same shaman?
Same shaman.
Were the angels the same ladies?
Same ladies.
Okay.
And this,
did you ask them if they work at Chase Bank when they leave?
I didn't. I thought about it though, because once again, that feeling of complete like tenderness and nurture.
Yeah.
And for me, it was better the second time because now I'm starting to create a relationship. Even though we're not like talking and hanging out with much, it's just a sense of familiarity.
100%. Yeah. Like if you share an experience with someone and it was a positive experience or even a negative experience, it bonds you in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we said last time, I mean, that's a joke, but I don't think I'd want to know. I don't want to know anything about them.
I don't.
Remember you said last time, you're like, I actually don't even know if they're real.
I know. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. So then he pulls us up to drink the tea. We go to drink the tea, and it's the same tea as last time. And the weird thing about it is I kind of like it. Like most people think that it's absolutely like bitter and terrible and earthy. And I don't know what it is, but this time I'm like,
what did you think of it the first time?
I wouldn't say that I liked it, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
This time it was like, I wanted to like swish it around in my mouth. And it's thick. Like I said last time, you can almost chew it.
Yeah, I think that's because like when you are ingesting something that your body wants, it has a strange way of making it like palatable.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, because other people are like throwing it back and they're like, and I'm sitting here like gargling it. So then we drink the tea and then we get up to dance so that we can, get our blood moving and get the medicine running through my veins, or our veins, shall I say. And I can feel it again like last time. It's like, it feels like thick electricity. That's like the best way I can put it, is I can feel it going through all of my veins and arteries, but not in a sense of high yet. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm under the influence. I can just, like I said last time, if you take a shot of whiskey, You're not drunk, but you can feel it inside of you.
Yeah.
So we do that. Then we're dancing, and I can feel it starting to come on. And it feels almost like if you were not to this extent, because it's not an icky feeling, but like if you got super drunk and stoned without the like feeling. Mm-hmm. Like imagine feeling 100% with the drunken stoned. Like it's.
What do you mean 100%?
Like feeling like how we do right now. We're sober. We feel good. We feel like cognitive thinking, like everything's fucking running optimal, but you're drunk and stoned. I've never seen this happen. Drunk and stoned people are not running fucking optimal.
Yeah, maybe that's why I can't really.
Because it's not the like, you know, like sloshing around, can't fucking speak. It's like
your brain's all there. Everything's functioning.
And it feels like
firing.
My brain's fucking firing on all cylinders, like a well-oiled machine. But I'm a little bit disoriented.
Got it.
I need to lay down.
I see.
But I'm not like sick or anything. So I lay down, and for whatever reason, this time I don't want to put my mask on, because we had like the eye masks.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put it on. And I also realized from last time that you don't actually have to lay there completely still for 7 hours. That if you want to sit up, you can sit up. You can look at the altar. You can go to the altar. You can, as long as you're not like being fucking crazy, you can stand on your mat and move around. And I really wanted to like enjoy it this time. Mm-hmm. So I start going into my intentions. What's my mission and purpose? What's my mission and purpose? And time becomes super weird. And I don't know how fucking long it's been or anything, but typically when you ingest something, it's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour before you feel it. So I can tell that it's probably been around 45 minutes to an hour just by the way that I'm feeling. And then I hear my aunt, and she's already in misery. And I'm like, fuck. Because I know it's my aunt.
It goes back to what we were just talking about.
Exactly.
Now your trip
is revolving around her.
It's being influenced at least by her.
Yeah.
But then the other side of that is maybe that's part of it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm like, fuck. Okay. When they say that the other people are starting to, well, let me take that back. They say don't focus on other people.
Okay.
Do not focus on other people. Do your very, very best to go inside, because this isn't about tuning out. It's about tuning in. Don't worry about the outside things. This is all in between your ears. So focus on myself. And I start to have the same feeling as I did last time, where I'm like, I can't. Like the only thing I can think about is helping my fucking aunt. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's nothing that I can do, but in my head, it's like, I gotta help her. I gotta help her. So I'm just kind of like going through things, and I can feel in my mind, this is all in my mind, that I'm going to like spiritually start battling the negative energy for her. Like I'm going to go inside and I'm going to start, I don't even know how to explain this with words, but I'm going to go into like the cosmic universe.
Yeah, wherever she's currently at battling this.
Yeah, and I'm going to
be part of it.
And I'm going to send all of my warrior, all of my love, all of my stuff to her or to help her. And I don't know if it's even really working or anything, but that's what I'm projecting out. And about this time, I can feel that I'm going to start fighting demons. Like, and they're not like physical demons. It's almost like this, like a black energy, almost like a shadow. And I can't really see them, but I like know that they're there. It's super weird. It doesn't make any fucking sense to our linear logical mind. But when I was in it, it was 100%. I knew what was fucking going on. This is what I need to do. But I felt like I needed more.
Could you see them, or did you just have an understanding?
I just had an understanding. I just had an understanding of the presence, and I knew that I needed to keep fighting. And then it wasn't just my aunt. I could hear some other girls too. For whatever reason, it's the girls.
Well,
I
of course,
don't give a fuck about the dudes at all.
What do I say? Practice all the time. If you get your fucking nose smashed or your eye split and you're a dude, don't even fucking bother talking to me.
Yeah.
But if it happens to one of our girls, like, bitch, we got a problem.
Yeah, we got a problem.
Don't fucking hurt my girls. Like, men are supposed to be fucking embracing combat. So, like, and if you're wired protector, of course, like, bro, if we're out in the fucking woods and there's a bear, am I protecting you or am I protecting Reagan? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
You know, come on.
Yeah. So, at this time, it's like, I feel like I need more. I need to drink another cup. And it's not time to drink another cup. Because like I said in the first time, you start out with 1 cup and then like 3.5 to 4 hours in, he'll come around for another pour.
And that's, I mean, you're a savage. So you're like, fuck, let's do it up.
Yeah.
Even though that might not have been the mental state you were in at the time. But let me ask you this. What are the protocols on wanting more or not wanting more? Like, is it kind of at your own request?
I have no idea because I just lean up. I literally like fucking sit up and there's an angel sitting right at the end of my mat. And I'm like,
give me more.
Can I have more? And she goes, yeah, let me go ask. Wait. No. We had drink in another cup. See, time is really fucking weird. So
this was a third cup.
This would be a third cup.
Got it.
Because I had looked up and I go, I need more. Is it too late to have another pour? And she goes, I'll go ask. And I was like, okay. And then I don't know how much time has been gone by. Because in my mind, like, I'm fucking full on fighting with my mind right now. Like, any bad shit, like, Tyler's just fucking slaying demons. And whether it was a real thing or not, like, I truly felt that I was fighting or helping be like an army for
the other people. Well, bro, what do you always hear? Perception is reality.
Uh-huh.
And try and prove otherwise.
Yeah.
You know?
So all of a sudden, the shaman comes and he taps me and he goes, you want more? And I go, yeah. And he goes, okay. And he hands it to me and I shoot it back. And my buddy Ethan is with me again. And he was right next to me this time.
Okay.
Well, he was sitting up at the same time. So I was like, what the fuck? He wants another one as well. And I looked at him and I didn't even realize I did this until the next morning when he asked me. Apparently, I looked right at him, dead in the fucking eyes. We haven't spoken 6 hours. And he goes, you looked at me and you go, these things are fucked. And you threw it back and he goes, and you lifted your hand up like this and you go, and you put your arms like this on your chest and you just fucking laid back down on the mat.
Going to battle, bro.
That's it. And then the visions started happening for me. And when I say visions, for me so far, in the times that I've done it, and I know this is different from everybody because of all the different people that I've talked to, my vision isn't like me looking at you and this is happening right here. It's like a vision in my head.
I see.
Like if you want to envision yourself being a millionaire or envision yourself winning the world championship, but it's very clear. Like it's very, very vivid of this vision I have. And I started growing like big and big and big. And I started growing so fucking big that I turned into a tree. And the tree, this is so crazy. The tree became so big that like the top of the tree went all the way up into space as high as infinite. And my feet turned into roots and went down like forever. I was infinity, but in a specific tree, the cedar tree that is in the back of my property at my house. And it's the tree that I decided to bury my dogs at 3 years ago before anything was ever cleared. And so I'm in my mind going, that tree that I picked is me and I'm it right now. And then I start going to my intention, my mission and purpose. And it starts just like pouring in. I'm a leader. I'm a protector. And I can get as big as ever. Nothing is bigger than me. And I could take all of the people, all of the plants, all of the animals, every insect, every bug. And if anyone ever needed a safe space, they could come to this tree and they could find holes or bark or burrow down, and I could take my branches and like put them down like this and put them inside of me and weather anything. And that was my mission and purpose, is that I'm a protector, 100%. That it doesn't matter whether you live in fucking Korea, Africa, Canada, or Greenland. If you are not a piece of shit, I will protect you 100%. And this all of a sudden, like, I didn't make my body do this, but I got up on my mat and sat directly like on my knees and was like this. And I would just like, I'm staring right at the altar. My eyes are open this now. And I'm still this tree. And I'm like, and that's blowing away all negative energy. I can just like suck in this evilness or darkness or whatever the problems were, bring it within, like, I guess like a tree can suck in all the pollution and give out pure oxygen. And that really was like the gist of that journey. And I don't know how long it lasted, but it was so fucking cool. Like, I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, there's not words.
No, there isn't words.
And even if there were,
it was a feeling.
Yeah, me being able to interpret that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, what did Rogan say about DMT? It's mushrooms times affinity plus aliens.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you can't, these things are outside of the realm of what we normally operate in within our five senses.
Yep.
Everything that we articulate with words to some degree has to do with your sight, your smell, feel, touch, hear, all that shit, right?
Yep.
How do you articulate this stuff?
I don't know.
You're trying.
I'm trying. I'm doing the best that I can.
And the other thing is like, not only is this like your first intentions was show me who I've become, right?
Yes.
And now that I have a little better understanding of that, what is my mission? But it's interesting to look at it almost from like a hindsight perspective. You've known that's your mission. And look what you've been doing for 2 decades, preparing for the impending battle that's going to take place between good and evil in our lifetimes.
Yep.
And that's not fucking crazy woo-woo spiritual shit. That's real shit happening on planet Earth right now.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties it all together.
All together. Because one of the things that I've always had, as far back as I can remember, is I was born in the wrong era.
Bro, I had that fucking talk with Jenny literally like 2 nights ago, and I was struggling.
Uh-huh.
I was struggling with it. And by the time this podcast comes out, the podcast where I articulated what had happened will have already came out too, with that guy at the park.
Okay.
About my daughter.
Yeah.
And I got him a fat piece of shit snapping at my daughter, and I can't fucking smash his skull in with a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what men do to people being aggressive to their family since the dawn of mankind. And then in the last 100 years, we've allowed a bitch, incapable ruling class to implement these laws and rules over us that get us trapped. And so I was kind of in turmoil about it. And it's because there was no conclusion.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about that at the gym. Like if you and I fight each other, one of us is going to win, one of us is going to lose.
Yep.
But when we walk away, we both have finality.
Yeah,
there is a conclusion.
Yep.
Hey, that man's fucking tougher than me, so I guess I won't talk shit to his kid next time, or whatever the conclusion is.
Yep. We're
living in a life where there is no conclusion for most fucking conflict that you face. And I've come to the same fucking, the same realization. Man, this is not my fucking time.
No. Why wasn't I born,
with William Wallace?
Yeah.
Chopping motherfuckers' heads off.
And there's a reason.
I need to know this.
There's a reason. And I'm finding this out is because of what you just said. There is going to be a battle. It is inevitable. If you can't fucking see it, you're an idiot. I mean, it's clear as day. And the reason is because I was put here in this specific time, because there's going to come a time in the near future where I am going to have to protect not just my friends and family. There is going to be
fucking humanity,
humans, birds, plants, animals. The elite fucking hate it all. They hate Mother Nature. And for me, I found out that it doesn't matter whether you're a goddamn ant, mycelium, a raven, the fucking whale, or a human being, and it doesn't matter what corner of the globe you're on, I will do my very, very best to make sure that you can continue to live a happy, healthy, prosperous, awesome fucking life. And it was all done by this cedar tree that it was like the world tree. Like in Norse mythology, there's the world tree. It's called Yggdrasil, and it is where all 9 realms consist of. Or in like Avatar, there's the mother tree.
Mm-hmm.
I was that. And it was so fucking cool. I had the time of my life. Other people did not, because every single journey is going to be different. Like that is most likely never, ever going to happen to me again.
Let me ask you this. Did any of the other people that were having this experience feel your presence?
Yes.
In their journey.
Yes.
As a protector.
Yes.
That's kind of, for me, what kind of ties it all together and corroborates.
Yes.
That this is bigger than just your brain going on some weird fucking trip. Your brain was in tune with the frequencies of the other people's brains or entity or spirits or whatever it is. Like an antenna.
Yes.
And you guys were reading each other's shit.
Yes.
And I think, did I tell you the story about Joao? He had taken a bunch of acid.
Okay.
And he was in a room with one of his friends, and he said like the door creaked open a little bit, and a little row of devils started walking in. And he said each one of the devils was holding a stone behind his back. And they were, as they walked, they were kind of in unison, and he's like looking at it, and they're walking in and they're walking towards him, and he's kind of freaking the fuck out. Like, what is this? What does this mean? And then his friend, who was also high with him, looks over and goes, "You see these fucking devils walking into the room?" And then it said it freaked him out way fucking worse, because
it wasn't just him.
Is this a hallucination, or is this expanding your ability to see things that are in existence, but in a different realm, or things that consist of energy? And I mean, I think about these things, and it's one of two things, period.
Yeah.
You are either, your senses are tweaked in a manner where you can take in input from other realms, and those entities do exist. There were miniature devils. Or our brains can pick up each other's frequencies, and we're sharing an experience between two human beings, and we've created this amongst ourselves for whatever the reason is.
Right, like telepathy.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, how else can you explain it?
You can't. You can't. So, and the reason why I know that I was helping these other people, because for one, my aunt was crying. When the ceremony gets over, let's go back a little bit before ceremony gets over, or when ceremony gets over, you're not talking about integration. That's the next morning.
Got it.
Okay. So when ceremony's over, you'll eat some soup and some bread, and if you want to bullshit a little bit, that's fine. Some people are still kind of under the influence. Some people are, everyone's body's getting rid of or processing it at a different rate. My aunt is floored. She don't even fucking sit up.
She's high as fuck still, huh?
Yeah, but she's been convulsing, literally convulsing, like tremors for 7.5 hours.
So her body's going to feel like it got hit by a truck.
Yes. The amount of energy that she's dealing with is such a high amount. Whereas me, I was fighting the whole time. I fucking love fighting. That's what I was born to do.
Yeah.
So I wasn't tired. I want to fight more. I'll fucking fight forever. So the thing is we had taken 3 cups, me and my friend Ethan. So when ceremony's over, I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get up and go to piss. Well, I go to stand up and I can barely even stand. And I'm like,
so it's still running through your veins.
I must have took the 3rd cup an hour before ceremony is going to be over.
I see.
I'm like, oh shit, I can barely walk. And so it's kind of like dark and you're really, really sensitive to light. So everything is dark and there's candles, but I go to take a piss and I get to the bathroom and I pull my pants down. I flip the toilet seat up and I go and look up and there's this face that's perfectly round and it looks like the moon. And he's like this.
It's a big grin.
Dude.
And it was where?
Right in front of me while I was peeing. Right above the toilet. So I like flip the lid up, pull my pants down, fucking whip my dick out, go to pee. And as I look up and I'm like, whoa. But then I'm like, back at it. I have to smile too. Like the energy coming from this face is so vibrant that I'm just sitting there just cheesing while I'm pissing. And then I'm like, is this thing fucking real? And I go to reach for it and it was real. Like real as in not a hallucination. There was an actual stone. Like, you know how they make faces? It's like sculpted.
Yeah.
Out of like mortar or whatever.
Okay.
So I wasn't tripping out. It was actually like, even in the morning when you're sober, that face is going to be there smiling at you. But the way that it made me feel was like
bigger than that.
Way bigger than that. So I go back and I go to sit down and I'm starving. I hadn't eaten in whatever since the day before or that morning. And they come and bring me soup and I fucking down the carrot soup. And then I eat a bunch of bread. And then I ask for more soup. And then I'm like, dude, I am floored right now. All of a sudden, I can't even lift my fucking head off the pillow.
Is eating food kind of make it run through your system more, maybe?
It's supposed to be the opposite.
Okay.
But the problem is because ayahuasca is an MOA inhibitor, it doesn't allow your body to break down things. That's the whole point of why the ayahuasca and the other like leaves have to go together, because if you don't have the ayahuasca, then your body will just eat the DMT. It won't go through your blood-brain barrier.
Yeah.
So it's not breaking anything down in my stomach. So now I have 2 fat cups of carrot soup and probably like a half a loaf of fucking bread just sitting in my belly. And it isn't, I can feel it's like, it's not going to get broken down. And so I'm laying there and I'm like, God. And then my buddy, he's like, so he must have went upstairs to go to sleep. There's like a bunch of bunk beds and shit up there. He came back down and just fucking face plants, like stiff as a board, like a KO. Boom, face first right into the ground. And I'm like, I can barely I'm trying to pay attention, but then the shamans are coming and the angels are coming and they're trying to take care of him. He's in a different world right now. He's out in the fucking cosmic universe. He took a 3rd cup with me and his didn't hit until now. And now he's literally, he can't do anything.
Did he get hurt at all?
No.
Or he's fine?
No, he's fine. He landed on the mat.
Okay.
But I can't figure out what's going on. And like I said, time is still fucked up because I'm super, super high at this point. And it's like 2 a.m. And all of a sudden I see the shaman walk by me out of the corner of my eye with this plastic bag. And I see him put my buddy in it. Ethan died. But in my head, it was not like, oh my God, or crying or sadness. It was just that. Ethan died. We had to put him in a trash bag and put him outside. Just like that. But then I hear them telling Ethan that he's got to eat watermelon. And so I'm like, whoa, he's not dead. So what the fuck? And I have my mask on now because like it's all my senses are just so fucking like, I don't know how to explain it, but I can't really lift my head. I can't really get my eyes open. I'm just done on the mat. I'm not sick or anything. I am now realizing that they keep talking about watermelon to Ethan. I realized that Ethan didn't die.
So the whole plastic bag thing was 100% just vision in your mind.
They did have a plastic bag. He shit himself all over. Like lost all control of his entire body, shit himself, fucking. The next morning, he's like, Tyler, there is nothing more humbling than being butt-ass naked with your wife, a shaman, sitting on a fucking toilet with shit all over you while they're trying to get you in the shower and you're out in fucking realm 9.
That does not sound like something that is going to, a lot of people listen to the show and they hear the good side of it.
Yeah.
That might make someone a little more reluctant.
Hey, this is real life.
Yeah, this is what happened.
This is it. This is a powerful thing. He is not the first. Many people lose the whole purging, shitting, that all of that is negative trauma coming out. Mm-hmm. All of it. So the other thing is this is what they do for a living. It would be like someone coming to jiu-jitsu and not tapping soon enough and they go unconscious. And it's like, it's part of the fucking.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's what happens. And it doesn't happen all the time. Obviously, Ethan's like, I've done this, 20 times. That's never happened to me. I don't know what happened.
The third cup,
right? And I can understand because I'm floored at this point, but I didn't know that until the next morning. I realized that Ethan didn't go in the fucking garbage bag. I don't know what they were doing with it, but something about the watermelon, they kept saying watermelon, get more watermelon. And this might've been in my brain, get more watermelon, to the point where I had my eyes closed and I couldn't really speak, but I thought, dude, there's so much watermelon in where I'm at that they're going to literally suffocate me with watermelon. And then I'd hear him, Ethan, you got to eat some more watermelon. Like for the rest of my life, this watermelon thing I will forever think about. There was more watermelons in this place. They didn't give a fuck about me. They were going to squash me. The watermelons were going to push me out. And I ended up falling asleep. So then the morning time, when we wake up, I find Ethan and I'm like, you're alive. I thought you died and got put in a fucking trash bag last night. What the fuck's up with the watermelon? He told me about having another man pretty much wipe shit off of him. And then we eat some food and we go to integration.
See, a lot of this sounds like, because when you hear about ayahuasca, a lot of times you hear about how it heals you or cleanses you. Like some of this sounds just like getting real fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
To the outsider.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? To the outsider. This is why I said if someone was to take a video of you, they would be like, why the fuck would anyone ever do this? All inside your brain.
Let me ask you this before you go into integration, because that's like explaining what each person learned in their trip and whatnot.
Yep.
Outside of what you feel in your mind the next day.
Yeah.
Is there like a physical hangover?
No.
So it's not like, cause I mean, if you eat too many mushrooms, even if you smoke too much weed,
yep,
clearly with alcohol, the next day can be fucking rough.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you could get that way with weed until not last New Year's, but the New Year's before. Mm-hmm. I smoked more weed than I ever have. and the next day I felt like I'd been in a fight, you know?
Yeah.
And what is the physical effects on the body after that?
For me, I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life.
Okay, I guess then it's going to depend on your journey, right?
Yeah.
Because
So-
if your aunt was heaving for fucking 6 hours, she'll
She
probably
was tired,
feel
very tired.
wore the fuck out.
Yep.
Okay.
And I did not. I fucking wake up feeling like better than I've ever felt in my life.
Of course you do.
So then we're going to do integration. And integration is by far like the most healing part of the whole thing, because you get to, whatever happened to me, am I the only one who felt like this? Whatever happened to Ethan, what happened to Ethan? And we all get to talk. And that's where I think the healing really comes in, is all of us being vulnerable, sharing our journey, and then coming together with kind of some of the answers. So for me, I said all the things that I said. I was this tree. I protect. I'm a safe space, essentially. My aunt says that she felt like she had got rid of like trauma from like ancestral lineage. Who knows? 50 million years ago, trauma, because our DNA holds trauma. Like, this is a real thing where,
Bro, it's proven through experiments.
yes.
I articulated the rat experiment last time.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
About how they took rats, exposed them to trauma, learned some of the triggers or some of the responses that the rats would do.
Yep.
And then 2 or 3 generations later, the rats would respond to certain traumas when they've never personally experienced it. And so the conclusion was you can pass genetic coding of different traumas probably as a protection mechanism.
Yep.
And that's why so many people are afraid of snakes or spiders.
Yeah, because
Or the dark. Like throughout history, the things that, the dark may not be a big deal when you're laying in your bed and you just turn your light off, but fucking 50,000 years ago, you're out on a hunt and you don't make it back to camp in time and you're trucking through the forest and it's pitch black out, you're probably going to get eaten by a saber-toothed cat.
yeah.
Exactly.
So this is when one of the women there, she was like, she didn't really say it out loud, but I could tell she's kind of like a woman activist or like a feminist type chick. Who probably weren't going to vibe very well, but to each their own. I tend to my side of the garden. She was the one who was like, I want to thank the masculine energy in this room for helping me last night. And then my aunt was like, started crying. I need to thank my nephew. If it wasn't for my nephew, I would have never been able to handle last night. I don't fucking talk to her. I didn't do anything. I was fighting
For her.
For this other chick. Ethan says, well, I learned one of the most valuable fucking lessons of my life. I've done this so many times that I thought I had it all under control. I can drink as much ayahuasca as I want, and I can just enjoy the ride and journey. And Mother Aya was like, oh yeah? Okay. I'll show you. Once again, spiritual jujitsu.
Yeah.
You are not master fucking sensei. You must hold respect. You must be serious with this, or else you're going to get your ass fucking handed to you.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Literally.
And he, like, the whole next day, he was a little bit different. A little bit.
Bro, yeah. Humility.
Humility. That's what it is. And our pride and our ego wants the rainbows and unicorns in the championship belt. But
yeah, because feeling badass feels good.
Absolutely it does. But we're not always going to get that.
Yeah.
We're there for healing, not for fun. If we want to go fun, let's go out to the property and shoot guns. Let's go. There's many other things we can do for fun. Ayahuasca is not for fun. So, with that being said, it's now Saturday and we're going to do it again. And
what percentage of the people that were in the room on night 1 were also partaking in night 2?
3 people left.
Now, did they bring in new people as well?
Yep.
Did your aunt just do 1?
Nope.
She did night 2, huh?
She did.
Whoa.
And she was dreading. She's like, Tyler, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. And I said, you can do whatever you want. Like,
yeah, again, you're not going to try and convince someone of this.
No.
They have to be emotionally.
No. But then she kept saying there's something inside of me that tells me that I need to do it. I have more healing to do. And let's just go back to like the purging for a second, where we say people are going to listen to this and be like, maybe ayahuasca is not for me. I'm not trying to do that. That's your pride and ego. You are more concerned about what making a fool out of yourself or
shitting yourself
or what people are going to think of you. You care more about that than you do about your own fucking spirit and soul. At the end of the day, your spirit and your soul, if you want to heal it 100%, then we have to stop the negative, limited beliefs about what other people think about us, what's going to happen, what if I make a fool out of myself? Who gives a shit? It's not about that. It's about you. It's about you. Because I have the same thing. After that night, I'm thinking like, fuck, I don't want to shit myself. I don't want to piss myself or puke. What is the real reason behind that? What is the real reason why? I mean, besides for the mess and shit like that.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Pride. Ego.
Bro, it's interesting how there's so many parallels to jiu-jitsu.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's spiritual jiu-jitsu.
Because what is one of the worst, what do you not want to happen on the mats?
Get choked out when your wife's watching?
By a girl.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. So do you never do it again? You say, I listened to Tyler Stanaway on Endless Endeavor podcast, and he got choked out by a girl in front of his wife. I don't think that's for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
The parallels are very interesting.
Yep.
Because jiu-jitsu kind of shows you these things in the physical realm, but this is obviously outside of that.
It is, but I also believe that it carries over. Because at the end of this, the shaman and some of the angels had said, you have had the experiences you've had because you've been practicing this for far longer than just taking ayahuasca. You have been doing something outside of here that has created something within you to where you really are, or you really know yourself. You really understand like a lot of these things that can't be taught with words. And I go, yeah, have you ever had a black belt maul you fucking round after round after round? Have you ever had a 300-pound fucking wrestler get on top of you and smother you to where you literally feel like you're going to die? Because that's an ego death in itself.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it would actually be more surprising if it wasn't tied both into the spiritual realm and the physical realm. Mm-hmm. Like it's tying everything together.
All 3 of them. It's that mind, body, soul type of thing.
Yeah.
So we all go around integration. Everyone's like, the love that you could feel radiating in that place is something that I cannot even explain.
This is after the first one or going into ceremony 2?
This is after the first one.
Okay.
It's always, well, I shouldn't say always. I've only done it this many times, but the last times that I did it, at this point, I'd only done it 2 times. It's after the integration that everything kind of like the peace, the bliss, it's the conclusion of what we just said.
The understanding
we went through war or whatever it is, and now there is a conclusion, the understanding of what goes on, and now there's peace and there's love. And it doesn't matter how gnarly our journey was.
We're good now.
We're good. And also the shamans say that Mother Aya knows how long you're going to do it. So if you were only going to be there for one night, you're going to get 1 night of
what you need, I guess.
What you need. If you're there for 2 nights, she isn't going to throttle you so bad on the first night that you don't show back up. She will do it to a certain point, but just like you'll do to a new student, you will give them as much as they need, but not so much that they don't ever come back to the gym.
Yeah.
You need to show them real jujitsu and that it really fucking works, but we're not going to break their arm and choke them unconscious and then expect him to fucking sign up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I always go back to like you and Daniel is literally like Mother Aya in the spiritual realm. And it just helps me a lot. I have an understanding of it. So my aunt is like, okay, we're going to do it because I have to, because I need to.
That's pretty cool that after one day, she still had the understanding of want versus need.
Yeah.
Enough to the point where she came to the conclusion, here we go.
Because her thing was, I've never felt this before in the sense of the love. Mm-hmm. She's like, I've never felt the way that I feel right now. Just a 100% bliss, gratefulness for everything in my life, for all my friends and family, all the hardships and lessons that I've been taught in life. Like this thing that we're experiencing right now in this human body is absolutely the most beautiful thing in all eternity. And something happens and it's like, I don't know, mental fucking surgery or something. So we're outside I took a nap under the cedar tree, woke up, played some Frisbee for a little bit, ate some food. I think I was only supposed to have like 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs. I needed protein bad. And so I just started mashing hard-boiled eggs. And because you can't have meat because your body won't be able to break it down.
Okay.
And essentially what will happen is meat will start rotting in your belly. And that doesn't sound very...
Yeah, let's avoid that. I mean, and you're going back to battle or you're going back into another journey here
in a
matter of hours.
Yeah. So we get done with integration and it's like 11:30 about. Okay. And the first ceremony starts at 4.
Got it. So yeah, that's a turn and burn. That's right around the corner.
So like I said, I went out, took a nap, probably an hour and a half underneath the cedar tree, and woke up, played some Frisbee with Ethan, talked to the aunt a little bit, and then it was like, all right, we're going back. So
that just sounds gnarly.
It is gnarly.
Dude,
it is gnarly. Like that's the thing is that I can't harp enough about how fucking serious it is. It is not. I'm still like people, well, aren't you worried you're going to get addicted to it? I want to meet this guy. The guy that's addicted to ayahuasca, please get a hold of me. I got to meet you.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. I mean, I just can't imagine doing it in any other setting other than this.
Yeah.
So, and for me, I have a new intention because it's a new night. If I don't get the direct messages or the correlations, then I'm just going to keep going back to the same intention until I can find a fucking answer. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't get an immediate answer.
So you set your intention on a specific ceremony and you're saying some people feel like they've developed an understanding and then other people feel like maybe I just got a little piece.
Yep.
Okay.
Another piece to the puzzle, or you got the whole bang or the whole picture.
So you set a new intention for night 2.
Yep.
Which was?
Unlock all my powers and show me how to use them justly. Whatever that means. But with the crystals, with this other realm, like, I don't even know if it's real, but I'm going to throw it out there because there's psychics, there's all this different shit. You got people climbing 14 peaks and that is supposed to be impossible, which clearly it isn't. You got all these different things that is happening around us at all times that defy physics or defy all odds, but yet
it
happens. So I had this thought of, I want to know what my fucking powers are. Do I have any? And if I do, I want to learn how to use them justly so that I'm not fucking shit up without knowing it type of thing.
Yeah.
I was really concerned about last time being the sword with no sheath. I didn't want to go back to that. I didn't want to go back to harming people without me knowing, like on accident. So if I say I had some crazy powers, then I wanted to make sure that I was adequate at using them, when to use them, when not to use them, and how to use them properly. So,
bro, that's a very like a very mature thing to try and harness. You know? Because like I think about it all the time. I don't feel like I have control over my powers yet. You know?
Yeah.
Like some dude cuts me off and it's like I'm literally ready to kill him.
Yep.
And I'm fucking pull over, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And if it were to happen, there's a good chance, like if we engage in a actual physical altercation, that person would be severely injured.
Yep.
Because we do have powers in the physical realm for sure, right?
Uh-huh.
That's not really using them justly, though.
Nope.
That's not being, that's flying off the fucking handle.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that Mother Aya is teaching me, is that the most dangerous man is the one who has 100% control over his emotions and composure. Mm-hmm. The wizard, the one who doesn't do things off of emotion and does things out of necessity and like always making the correct decision logically and rationally rather than because I feel.
Yeah. Bro, that's the biggest battle in life.
Fuck yeah.
It is. And I talked about it on I think last week's episode, because again, that book, Emotional Intelligence, it literally talks about the physical path of the synapses, how you feel it first before it enters your frontal lobe where logic is placed.
Yep.
And a lot of people get stuck in that feel. Me included.
Me too. I'm no fucking
that's
saint
what I'm saying,
either.
right? Yeah. And it's like, but just like you just articulated, the fucking wizard, even that person feels it.
Yeah.
But then before they act on it, the actions come from the logical side of your being. Mm-hmm. And even little things like today, I was unhooking a trailer, right? Mm-hmm. And Maiko locked the trailer with a padlock, and I didn't have the combo out there. And I'm like, fuck, you know? Uh-huh. And then Jenny's like, you don't have the fucking combo? Why didn't you ask for it? And it like, I don't have the combo, and I didn't ask for it. So this is where we're at, right? And like, I started to feel like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, I don't have the combo, so we're going to have to get it somehow. That's the only solution. There is no fucking like, why haven't you asked for it? The fact is, we're out here now. I don't have it yet. And I'm going to have to figure out, do we have bolt cutters? Can I get a hold of Michael? Like, they're starting to become like a little solution. What's the solution?
Yep.
And I thought back to that book, because I'm like, feeling any type of like frustration or allowing that to dictate how I act is not solution based. Mm-hmm. That's just the uncontrollable fucking pussy inside of you.
Yeah.
You know?
And especially in the Western world, we don't like to feel very much at all. The second something feels shitty, we want to drink, drug, run away, anything to not feel frustration, sadness, depression, anger, all of these bad things. So we go and we numb ourselves out, which is why,
I mean, Andy talks about it all the time. Every single place you look, there's ads for beer and whiskey.
Yeah.
You can get it on every single street corner. You can get it in every single restaurant. Like, it's by design.
It's by design.
To fucking numb human beings' feelings.
Yeah. Because if you numb it, then you're on an even plane. But you don't feel the love, the joy, the happiness, the gratitude, the appreciation,
You're neutral.
you're neutral. So if you want to feel, we'll just say love like you've never felt before, you need to feel fucking darkness like you've never felt before.
100%, bro.
They go hand in hand. And it's the learning of the like understanding the difference between the two.
Yeah, things have contrasts.
Yeah.
There's peaks and valleys. There's hot and cold. There's love and hate. And it's like, if you didn't understand what cold water felt like, if you only understood what hot water felt like, you can't even grasp what that contrast means.
It wouldn't be hot water. It would be just water.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is just water.
Yeah.
You know?
Without darkness, we don't get no light. There has to be darkness in order to be light, because if there wasn't, there would just be nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm learning all this fucking duality or yin yang, the yin and the yang. I mean, all this shit's been talked about since the fucking beginning
of fucking time.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's interesting, because if you look at that kind of stuff, what type of cultures are pushing a need for that understanding? It's Eastern cultures.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's it's monks, it's shaman, it's like in India. What are the Sikhs, right? It's people whose cultures have been they've just been around a lot longer than the American culture. So they understand the importance of that. And it's like, as you're learning this as an individual man, I feel like our country's kind of learning it as an individual entity itself.
I agree.
And, but if you don't learn it, bad shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Here we are.
America. America is a 30-year-old man who can't figure himself out. And it can go one of two directions, right?
Yeah. It's either going to get better or it's going to get worse. So, night 2, same thing. It's the exact same thing, but two new people came. So now my buddy isn't right next to me. A new guy's right next to me. And he's from the farthest east piece of land in North America. So it's like up in
Maine or something?
Newfoundland in Canada.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little bit more east. And he seems like a cool guy. No, he seemed cool.
Did he come from there to here?
Yep.
Specifically for this?
Specifically for this.
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of cool because his intention was, he feels like he self-censors himself when he shouldn't. So his intention was to learn how to speak from the heart, regardless of what anyone else fucking thinks, and to eradicate limited beliefs.
When you set your intentions, you share it with the whole room?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason being is, when you say something out loud, this is all energy, this is all frequency, this is all vibration. It's one thing to visualize in your head, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And I always keep it in my head. And a lot of times it'll happen.
Yeah.
But when you say it out loud, it's now
you're kind of bringing it to existence.
It's real now, right? It's not just me manifesting. Greg, I'm going to whatever it is. Now it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Not only am I now sending that thought out, you are too. So now it's twice as powerful. When we all do this together, this is why ayahuasca is a group thing. Whereas like mushrooms, people who do like mushroom ceremonies, it's, I mean, not ayahuasca is still your own inner thing, but you're doing it in a group of people.
Got it.
Whereas mushrooms is your own thing, but you're by yourself. So we all put this out there. Mine is unlock all my powers. My aunt is still on her same one. She wants to heal. She wants to heal her mind, body, and soul. Back to whatever the God-given creation is supposed to be. That's her intentions. So, we drink the tea and we do the same thing. We dance, blah, blah, blah. And I start to feel the medicine. I lay down. And the guy next to me, who I thought was going to be cool, I can't deal with him. He starts, like, literally, this is going to sound crazy to everyone, but he started talking in insect form, and I couldn't fucking take it. Literally like this. I love
the reenactment, bro.
Bro, all I can think is,
shut the fuck up.
Oh my God. And I'm feeling angry. I can hear my aunt back to literally like a reset.
She's crying again.
She's crying. She's purging. I can hear another girl purging.
Let me ask you this. Was he making those noises, or were you interpreting something differently?
No, he was making those noises.
Okay.
He was. And I am laying there and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no way I can lay here for another 7 hours and listen to this stuff. It kind of brought me back to my first ceremony.
Yeah, I remember like
where
the people's behavior were bothering you
very badly, and it started to become too strong. And so then, this is the crazy part, because I got put back into my 15-year-old body. So one of the things that I'm noticing is that my dad the death of my dad has created a severe trauma inside of me. And even though I thought that I had it under control and I've dealt with it and it's been fucking 18 years, apparently not. Apparently I have not fucking dealt with it, because...
Or maybe you just need to deal with it additionally in some different manners.
Yeah, more or something. Because I'm going into my intention again. Unlock all my powers and show me how to use them justly. And I'm just saying it over and over again. And all of a sudden it was like, boom, I got thrown back into my 15-year-old body. I was standing there with my stepmom, who is also dead now. We're in the laundry room at my uncle's house.
So your dad was there?
No.
Or just your stepmom?
Just my stepmom. Okay. And this was this really did happen in my real life, but I'm like, I'm going to redo it again.
So this experience that you're reliving took place when you were 15?
15.
Okay.
It was the day before my 16th birthday. My dad had been dead for 3 days. I was standing in the laundry room and I was crying because I just really wanted my dad there. And my stepmom came in there and had looked at me right in the eyes, and she told me that I needed to essentially get my shit together, quit acting like a spoiled little brat, that she spent a bunch of money on my birthday party for all of us to go bowling, and that I need to be appreciative and grateful for that, because she could, if she wanted to, she didn't have to do anything for me. And yeah, dad's not there, but there's nothing we can do about it. So pretty much get the fuck over it and have a good time.
15-year-old kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for those of you that haven't listened to Stanaway's other episodes, your dad committed suicide.
Yep.
So, I mean, death is traumatic enough, and I've dealt with suicide enough over the last 10 years to know, like, it's more traumatic because there's so many unanswered questions that you have a fucking burning desire to ask and have some type of understanding. But again, there won't be a conclusion on this one.
Ever.
And it's like, fuck, man. And so to be 15, I mean, as a full-grown 40-year-old man, that shit is traumatizing.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was two things there's more than two things, but two things that came to my mind in the ceremony at that particular time. it was, why couldn't my dad just be here? The thing is that when I turned 16 years old, I could get my driver's license and I could fucking come visit him whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
And he killed himself 4 days before it. What the fuck? So that's going through my head of why couldn't he just waited 4 days? The other thing is an extreme amount of guilt because my dad called me the day that he killed himself and he was coming over here to visit his buddy and wanted to pick me up and hang out with me for the day. But I was actually at a party and I had been drinking and I didn't want to answer the phone because I didn't want my dad to know that I was drinking and get in trouble. And he left a message and I have that message actually burned onto a CD of my voicemail. And it goes, Tyler, it's Dad. I'm on my way to Larry's house right now, and I want to know if you wanted to hang out. I'd like to come pick you up. Call me back. I love you, son. Call me back either way, even if you don't want to hang out with me. Call me back. I love you, bud. And I never answered it, and that was the last message anyone ever got. He turned around.
So there's a part of you that
feels
is like, because I didn't call him back, whatever was making him spiral continued to make him spiral.
Yeah, because he was driving over here. Him and my stepmom were fucking having problems. And now that I'm an adult, I've learned a lot of shit. You know, he kept coming home she's cheating on him. I mean, he found her getting fucked in his bed from work. Like all these different things. That's terrible, terrible stuff. Well, he was trying to essentially escape. He wanted to come over to see his oldest son. I have 2 little brothers. See his oldest son and visit with a buddy and get the fuck out of Wenatchee. So he had called me while driving over the pass and I never answered. And he turned around halfway and went and fucking killed himself at my grandma's house in the garage. And the weird thing is, like, I don't think about any of that shit. I didn't think about my stepmom. I don't think about these conversations. I haven't even thought about that CD that I have of my dad in almost 20 years. And I'm like vividly in this shit. And I fucking lose it, dude. I can't. I'm so sad, so miserable. I just don't even know what I just want it to all stop and go away. And not in the sense of like, you got too drunk and you don't want to be drunk anymore, or you got too fucking high on something and you're feeling really like gross and icky and you want it to go away. None of that. It was never like, I wish I didn't take ayahuasca. That was not it. It was more like, what the fuck does this have anything to do with my powers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like on the end of my bed and I'm trying to get my shit together and I'm fucking starting to cry and I don't know why and I can't figure it out. And then insect dude next to me is fucking driving me insane. So finally I get off my mat and I face away from the altar, like in the corner, and like essentially put my hands in my face and put my face into my knees. And I'm just sitting on my ass, like covered up, crying. And I'm like, man, this is fucked. Like, I don't want to deal with any of this right now. I don't want to deal with any of this. And this voice inside of me is like, there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to run. This is it. You've ran for however long it's been. And now you get to face it.
Fuck.
And you can try to run away. You can put your head in the pillow. You can fucking cry. You can scream. There's no escaping. You have one way to get out of this. You deal with it. And I can't, dude. I literally couldn't. And so I asked I asked one of the angels, can I please go outside? I don't want to be in here anymore. And she's like, yeah. So she takes me outside and the sky, remember I was telling you about the view of this place.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It was so fucking beautiful, Greg. Like the whole world got lifted off my shoulders and I fall into the grass and I like grab the grass and just start sobbing, bawling like as if a child like you know when a kid is just like almost hyperventilating from crying?
Yeah.
That's how I am. And I turn and I look at the angel and I go, I'm sorry. I just miss my fucking dad. And she rubs my back and she's like, it's going to be okay. And I was like, yeah, it is. It is. And then she goes, you got 30 seconds and we have to go back inside. And I think to myself,
it's hell in there.
I ain't going back in there. And she goes, Tyler, your presence is wanted in there. They need you and they can feel it. And I'm like, fuck. She goes,
you learned the night before you're fucking.
I'm a protector.
It's your duty.
I'm a protector. So I go back in there and immediately, like a fucking smack right in the face, right back where we started. So now I'm on the mat and I'm putting my face in the pillow and I'm laying on my belly. And I came up with this fucking great idea. I can just choke this motherfucker out and then
the noises
will stop. Well, I can't do that. I can't just choke this guy out. And so I put my hands underneath my mat just to make sure. Like, remember we talked about last time? I don't want to be the dude on the news that goes fucking ape shit in here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't actually going to. It was thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, it was just thoughts. I mean, dude, I could barely even stand up and get my tongue in my mouth.
You can still strangle that motherfucker.
I could. So I'm like listening to him and I hate it, dude. I hate it. And then you pop into my mind about telling the kids when they're making noises about how they get that's a disqualification.
Yeah.
In a tournament or whatever, right?
Yep.
You got to keep emotional composure. So all I can think about is like, I have to tell this guy he's losing. He's going to get.
Yeah. He's lost his emotional composure.
Yeah. He has to keep that under control.
Do they give you any kind of guidelines on interacting with other people?
Yes. You're not supposed to interact with other people and you should try your very best to keep like noises, talking, those things to yourself. Sometimes
if you're bawling, crying, what can you do?
Nothing.
But making those noises for hours on end,
dude, right now, like closer than me and you are together, and it's literally like,
oh yeah, bro, it's already annoying me. It's been 5 seconds,
dude,
and I'm not on ayahuasca.
Yeah, I literally couldn't take it, and then my aunt starts like, I can like hear her right in my like right here, and then she's not right here, but it's all just too fucking much for me. Chaos. That's all I can think. If chaos was a tangible thing,
it was in that room.
I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it. And I'm trying to fight and fight and fight it and fight it. And I can't. It's kicking my ass. And I don't do well with that. I need to.
Yeah, you're a winner.
I'm a winner. And I need to fucking figure out how to win. And I can't. And I can't. And this is going on. And then the second cup comes around. Or maybe it already came around. I don't even fucking know. This particular thing went on for what felt like eternity.
I know you said like time is not understood.
No.
But I mean, did this dude potentially only do this for 2 minutes?
No.
Or was it fucking 6 hours?
It was 6 hours.
Okay.
It was 6 hours because later on
it came to light.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is going on and this is going on. I'm still fucking sobbing and crying and bawling and getting off my mat and curling up into a ball.
Did it make you want to go back outside?
Yes, that's all I could think about.
How peaceful it was out there.
That's all I could think about. And then things would come in where it's like the angel and the devil on my shoulder. I don't give a fuck if they want my presence or my protection, or I don't care. I cannot get my shit together, and I am in a state right now. I don't think I've been this miserable in my entire life. I seriously don't think that through drug addiction, suicide, divorcing or maybe possibly getting none of that even came remotely close to how I felt. And it was so fucking brutal. Like, I can't even put it into words how miserable I was. And like I said, it wasn't miserable because I was high. Not one time do I remember thinking like, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have done this. It wasn't that. It was like, I have to figure out how to
just negotiate this shit. Yeah.
And then I don't know how long it had been, but I had asked again, can I please go back outside? And I know it had been a while. And it was a different angel. And she took me outside. And once again, it's like the second that door opens and I can see the clear blue sky and look over and see the Olympic Mountains and the fucking Puget Sound and all, I can hear the birds and like they're in my head. It was so beautiful. I don't know what else. And like the world got lifted off my shoulders. And I'm laying there in the grass and I'm just like rubbing the grass, looking up at the sky like, fuck, this is so nice. Almost like orgasm nice. And she says the same thing.
Time to go back
in. And I was like, I don't think I can. She's like, you gotta go back in. They need you. You're the warrior in here. And I'm like, God damn it. Sometimes the warrior doesn't want to fight the war, but the warrior has to fight the war or else they all die. All right. Warrior's going back in. So I go back in. And this goes on for a little bit. And then
motherfucker's still making noises.
And then I was like, I have tried to fight this for what feels like a lifetime, and I can't beat it. So I need to figure out how to love it and just love the suck, embrace the suck. And I started thinking like, back to jujitsu. If I try my very hardest to beat you or Daniel or whatever people who are better than me, you can fight all you want, only to find out that you're going to lose. So what do? Do you give up? Do you leave the fucking gym? No, you understand that there's lessons to be learned. And what you need to do is you need to find comfort in the uncomfortableness. You need to find a position that is the most comfortable for you and understand when you're in danger, when you're not, and when it's just uncomfortable. And I started going into my brain and I was like, I'm not getting choked out. I'm not getting armbarred. I'm not going to die. I'll wake up in the morning with the sun, go see Vanessa and the kids. I'll go back to jiu-jitsu and see all them and Greg and my buddies on Monday. And these guys are teaching me a lesson that you can't fight everything in life. Sometimes darkness is just darkness and it's going to be there. And if it wasn't for darkness, how could we ever have light? And then I was like, I know my power. My power is to find peace within chaos. And all of a sudden it was like, pew! Like I got dropped into the fucking ocean and it was just like bliss, tranquility. And I laid there and I'm like,
even though all the same shit was still happening.
And I didn't even care anymore. It was like, go ahead, talk insect. That guy had said that he wanted to learn how to quit self-censoring. He's been talking like an insect for fucking 7 hours. He's learning. My aunt is purging all of her stuff. Bro. And then the energy, remember I said last time they came and did like energy work and it felt like they were like moving energy within me. It didn't feel like any of that. It just felt like love, man. Like this fucking dude massaging me, fucking loosening me up. Like I was just laying there and I thought I could lay here like this for eternity. And then I got put back into the tree. And I kind of brought this up with Toby when we were talking, but I didn't want to go into it because I knew we were going to do this podcast.
Yeah.
But something got brought up, and this goes back to the emotional composure. You are the tree, and you are the protector, and you will put all things within your roots and branches to keep things safe. But if chaos comes, if you can't figure out how to maintain solid foundation and be the mountain, then not only does the tree fall over and die, every single thing within it that it's protecting will blow away and die too. So your power is to find peace in chaos, because if you didn't, you cannot protect anything unless everything's going good. But in chaos and in war, how often is everything going good?
Yeah, fucking never.
And that was it.
That's interesting how it was a 2-day lesson that got all tied in together.
Yeah.
Right at the end. Because think if you were still in that anxious state of shut the fuck up when the shaman said, all right, everybody get up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no closure.
Nope.
There's just anxiousness, anxiety.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was so
fucking crazy, bro.
Bizarre. So that was that. My aunt, everyone had a little bit of, everyone had a better night except for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one who went through fucking mad misery.
And your buddy Ethan did it again as well?
Yep. And his was cool. He's like, dude.
Didn't fill his
nope.
underwear full of shit this time?
No. And he said, he's like, I had to like come to grips with, I'm just a man. I'm just trying to learn. I'm not the cream of the crop. I'm not superior. I don't have all my shit together. I'm just another human trying to better my life. And he's like, I wanted to fucking like yell at the top of my lungs in my head, like, I'm back, motherfucker. But he's like, it felt wrong. It felt like that would be like clout.
Ego.
Mm-hmm.
Boasting.
And he's like, so I didn't. I laid there and I just kept to myself and learned what I needed to learn. And then we go to bed. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning feeling like $1,000,000, dude. I walk outside. I'm doing a workout in the fucking grass. I'm watching the sun come up. I sat there and watched the fucking woodpecker peck his face into a tree for a little bit. And I started laughing because I was like, man, what a life. You go around and find a piece of wood and just smash your nose into it 40 billion times to make a little home. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah, have they ever done CTE scans on woodpeckers?
Right? And then once again, the girls were like, Tyler, your presence is so needed. You were gone sometime. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, we knew it. Which I don't know how they would know it. None of us are facing the altar. They're all laying down opposite. No one would know that I was gone. But 2 of the girls said, they
felt your presence leave.
They felt my presence. So this lets me know that there is something bigger than just our physical body. My aunt was like, Tyler, remember when you stood over me and got so big and you said, when things are getting hard, or you said, we need to get out of our minds, out of our thinking minds. And when it gets too hard, I say a mantra. I am loving awareness. And she's like, remember when you were standing over me and you were saying that? I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am the trees. I am the birds. I am the wind. I am everything and nothing. And I go, I never said that. And she's like, yes. Remember when you were so big helping me? And I go, Annie, I never said any of that. Nor was I even by you. And she's looking at me like fucking deer in the headlights. No, Tyler, my warrior nephew, if it wasn't for you, I would have never made it through. But because you told me the mantras and to get out of my mind, but not go out of my mind, get out of my thinking mind and just be, to surrender, not give up, let it be. And I'm like, no, that didn't happen. At least not for me. And she's like, well, it did for me. And I wanted to thank you very much for the warrior that you were. I never seen.
But fuck, you were feeling big and you were feeling the truth.
I know. That's
come on.
That's the crazy.
You did say it to her.
I did. I'm just saying, like, in a physical form.
Yeah. A video camera wouldn't have captured you walking over there and standing.
Because that's what she's like, remember when you were standing over me? And I was like, it took me a second. But then it all started coming together. My aunt now has feeling in her fingertips. She got in a car accident in like 1993 and has had numb fingers in her left hand. Mother Aya gave her her nerve endings all work again. She can feel and use her left fingertips.
Whoa.
Yeah. Ethan, my buddy, he had a broken collarbone, and this didn't happen this time. This is something that happened at a different ceremony that he was talking to us about integration when my aunt was telling about her hands. He had went to Costa Rica and he had broken his collarbone, and then one of the threads from the stitches was like poking out, and it was bothering him really bad. And he's like, dude, I had these little guys, like little, what do you call them? Little praying mantises that had humongous tools, like huge screwdrivers. And they literally went in the hole where my stitch is at and went in and like tightened all my shit up. And the next day the thread was gone. All my swelling was gone. And I've never had any problem with my collarbone since. You just make that up in your mind?
Yeah. What's really happening? Again, it goes back to, is our own mind so powerful that it can heal the body? Well, yes.
Yes.
I think that's pretty much proven, you know, but can you also use an outside energy to heal your physical body? Fuck, man.
I don't know. What I'm coming to my own conclusion or whatever is...
It's your hypothesis.
My hypothesis is that because everything is frequency, you must have a decoding device to decode the frequency. Meaning, in order to experience the internet, you need to have a router and a computer. Otherwise, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or does it? Right? It's all around us right now. But if we don't have a router or a computer, we cannot access it. Right now.
Well, it's like the tree in the forest falling down.
Yeah.
Does it make a sound? If you don't have ears to pick up the vibrations in the air, I guess not, right?
I guess not. But does that mean that it didn't make a sound? No, you just don't have a
device
to decode it.
Yeah.
And so I think what's happening is humans are set, I'm going to say, on this radio station. This is the radio station or the TV channel that we are tuned into. That does not mean that all the other channels aren't happening simultaneously right now. I think that's why like the psychics can experience, ghosts or paranormal activity, all these different things, but it doesn't make sense, but it does to them. So either two things to me is happening. Either the plant medicine, whether it's, whatever plant medicine you take that's going to be a psychedelic plant medicine, is either broadening the range of frequency that we can decode, meaning we can tune into more than just this channel.
Yeah.
Or it's blocking out our, like the sensor.
Yeah.
It's the block or the sensor.
It's like taking a governor off a car.
That's what I'm looking for. The governor gets taken off. So either way, I don't know. I'll never know. But for some reason inside me, it seems to me like we're always passing off energy. We talk about it all the time, vibes. You can hang out with someone who has low vibe, hang out with someone high vibe. No one ever even says a word to each other, and you can just fucking pick it up. You feel it. So what is that? I don't know. I'm just a fucking dumb sheet metal worker.
Yeah, I had a guy come to the Jiu-Jitsu Academy last night, and I told him, we texted before, and I said, hey man, like, I want you to come on one of these nights and feel the vibe, meet the team. And then afterwards he's like, bro, you said feel the vibe, and I felt it, and I want to sign up right now.
Fucking A.
And it's like, fuck yeah. But that's the thing. You can walk. I always push jiu-jitsu. But there are jiu-jitsu academies where you walk in and it's because the energy's off, And so, yeah, I was almost going to say it's like an intangible, but it's not. It is tangible. You feel it with your fucking being.
That's it. How much time we got?
We got about 5 minutes. We got to wrap it up pretty quick.
Okay, I got.
Say your last thing. I got one question, and then we can call it a night.
Okay, so if you listen back to the previous episode, there was a profound experience with the raven, and the ravens actually moved into my house. They live with me now, so I don't know where that came from. I never had ravens.
They live on the property now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, 2 of them. They're there every day. When I go home right now, 100%. They will both fly by me and squawk. I say hi to them every fucking day now.
Dude, build a badass like nest for them.
I want to, but they're way out there. They got a fucking.
That's true. They don't need your ass.
No, they're just part of the crowd. The other thing is like, I'm not religious or anything like that, but I definitely, well, clearly there's something higher than myself. Where would I get all this knowledge from?
For sure.
Yes.
To think otherwise is unreasonable, in my opinion.
And it's been helping me a lot. Like yesterday I had to take a welding test, which is my final welding test. I'm a journeyman. I've been one for 4 years, but there's still certain tests that like you can't do certain things. Like I'm going to weld some nuclear duct. So it's got to be like,
it's like a new certification.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so I went down to the hall yesterday to take this test, and it was the hardest fucking test I've probably ever taken in my life, whether written or physical. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I fucking tried, and I was like, dude, I just don't think that I can do it. And then I thought to myself, okay, we got a little bit of chaos going on. I can start breathing heavy and getting my fucking heart rate up, or I can find peace. And so I started breathing, finding peace. And then I thought to myself, what's that saying? Those who say they can and those who say they can't are both usually correct. Mm-hmm. I kept telling myself, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, it's self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, so I switched that around. And then I said, Mother Aya, I need you to help me. I need you to grant me the wisdom, the courage, the strength, and the ability to showcase all my skills so that I can do this. I can do it. I know I can. I need you to help me believe in myself, because right now even though I'm believing that I can do it, I'm having limited beliefs. It's like I'm saying one thing, but I'm believing another.
Yeah, that self-doubt's still in there.
Right? I need that to go away. I fucking passed it first try.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So...
And is it all in your mind or not? We'll never know. But guess what?
Nor do I care.
It's fucking working.
It's fucking working. One last thing. All this plant medicine has taught me something. I don't want to be a metal worker anymore. I want to be a medicine maker. I want to make my own, grow all my own herbs, all my own crops. I want to start helping heal the planet through plant medicine. There's something inside me that tells me that is what I'm supposed to be doing. And there's one last thing that I want to try, which is mescaline. And that is the like Native American or Peruvian. It's another plant medicine. It comes from cactus. I think peyote, San Pedro, like Peruvian torch. There's a few other ones. And I've never even met anyone. I don't know any Native Americans to go to, like a tribe, to try this.
So reach out to you.
So, yeah, to reach out. And I've never even really talked to anyone about it. And I randomly got a text message from a buddy who came back from Peru 3 days ago. And he's like, hey, man, I was in Peru at Machu Picchu, and I was thinking about you, and I brought you this. And he threw it to me. And I thought it says aloe vera on it. And I was like, oh, thanks. You know, maybe he thinks I get sunburned a lot or something. And he's like, bro, that's mescaline. You know what that is? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, no, I brought it back for you. I figured you'd like it. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Fucking universe, bro.
Yeah. So that's it, man. That's it.
All right. Well, the last question that I had is because your last episode on this topic touched a lot of people. And I actually got a decent amount of emails of people that are like, how do I get in touch with Tyler?
Yeah.
And if you guys are listening and you have not got a response, I apologize, because life has been happening and I haven't sat down with you and like asked specifically, like, what are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with? Because some people that listen to the podcast don't have Instagram. Okay. And that's what I've come across. People are like, man, I want to talk to him about this. I need this in my life. I want to go to that retreat. And then one guy's like, and I promise I'm not law enforcement. And then because I wasn't even thinking about that until someone said that. And then I was like, I don't know what you're willing to share and what you can and what you can't. Basically, if people have questions and they don't have Instagram, is there a way that you're comfortable interacting with other people?
After the first ceremony, I would have said no. But after this time, I'm literally like, something in my heart, with all of my heart, tells me that I am supposed to help heal, help protect, and help anybody who wants to better their lives or gain a better understanding about what this all is. So
I just had a really good idea then.
okay.
Why don't we make a Tyler's Ayahuasca at gmail.com or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to be it, guys. That's just an example. Whatever you decide it is, we will put it in the show notes below.
Okay.
So if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, all you have to do is scroll, and that's where like the websites and emails of people that are on the show, you can see it all there.
Perfect.
That way, it's not anything that's already existing. It's not anything that you have to have a certain social media platform. You have to have a fucking email.
Yep.
If you don't have that, go make one.
Yeah.
It takes
free.
5 seconds.
It's free.
You're down with that?
I'm down with that.
Okay, so that's what we'll do, guys. Tyler will create a new email specifically for questions related to this. It'll be in the show notes below. And that way, hopefully you guys can interact and get the answers that you need. Again, I'm sorry for not responding to those emails, but at the end of the day, I don't know kind of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable based on who this shaman is and how they do their shit. So I kind of went hands off until I could talk to you about it.
Yeah, 100%. And also, even if it's not about ayahuasca, you know, lots of people are learning about just regular herbs.
Yeah.
You know, I could say, hey, 300 milligrams of stinging nettles is equivalent to 1 dose of Claritin for allergies. So if anybody is trying to try a different route, a route that's been here since the beginning of time, that isn't synthetic or anything, hit me up. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Building the network, bro. That's what it's all about.
Right on, guys.
All right. That's a wrap. We'll fucking definitely have you back to drink some whiskey and talk shit like usual.
Yeah. Later, guys.